Good evening, everybody. This is Gardening Warrior Q, and the other day we did beef for our meal prep, and today we are doing chicken thighs. What I do, I have a family of 4, me and 3 girls, and so I will take 4 to 5, because some of these are a little small, chicken thighs, and I cut them up into little cubes. And then I put them into the bags, which I've already labeled. This one is going to be taco seasoned chicken. This one is going to be sweet and sour chicken. And I label them ahead of time. So all I have to do is use this hand to hold the bag open, because this is my clean hand. And then I'll use this hand that I'm holding the phone with to pick up the raw meat and put it into the bag. That way, I make sure there's no cross-contamination, no salmonella on the outside of the bag. So, let's get started. Actually, I've already gotten started. I've already done 2 trays. And each tray pretty much gives me 3 different meals. Right now, all I'm doing is marinating. And then I will figure out what vegetable, and if we want to do it with pasta or just over like our riced cauliflower, or like veggie noodles that I've spiralized with my zoodler, or actual pasta. We'll figure out what we want to put it with after we get them marinated and put into the freezer, but that's all later on in the video. So, like I said, this is 4, actually this one's 4 large chicken thighs and 1 very small one cut up into cubes. And I'm going to show you how I do that to make it a little easier. Now, you may notice that these are labeled what they're going to be, but the sauce is not in here yet. That is because I will put all the sauce in after I have washed my hands. Everything is chopped, bagged, labeled, so I know what's going in there. That takes a little planning, which I've already done. So you always want to know what you're going to put in there with your chicken if you're just marinating it like this. This just makes it easier for me, like taco seasoned chicken. We'll have that with burritos or quesadillas or something like that. Sweet and sour chicken we can easily put with fried rice, which I make homemade, and a vegetable, and that'll go with that. This batch right here is going to go into my secret sauce. Now, I've never tried this secret sauce, so I don't know what it even tastes like. It's a dip, a dressing, and your new go-to. It's Whole30. It has no dairy, no gluten, no added sugar, and no... I can't say if that's gums or fillers. But we're going to do it. We're going to try it. And we're going to do it in this bag right here. So, in order to keep from contaminating anything, like I said, I always use this hand that I'm holding the phone with at the time. Clean. I open my chicken thighs just like that. These are boneless, skinless chicken thighs. And they literally cost the same as the chicken thighs with the bone and skin in. Bone in and skin on. So that's why I went ahead and got them this way. These were less expensive than the chicken breast. So that's why we got these. You see this fat part right here? What I'm going to do is I'm going to cut this in half right here. And probably this piece right here. But I think the rest of them I'm just going to leave the way they are.
The red one. Okay.
Alright. So I decided against cutting this piece because it's really not that big. And then I just slice it. Now this one I'm not going to cut into cubes. I'm just going to leave like that, and that way we can have them for burritos and such. And Eli can have them on her salads. Salad.
Oh, chicken Alfredo.
We've got Alfredo. It's just not. I'm not putting any of the sauces in yet.
I said chicken Alfredo.
So that's how we do it. Now, if I were cubing this, I'd cut it down this way, and then, I'd cut it like twice this way to make 3 pieces. After I cut it like this, but you always want to do your diagonal without cutting your fingers, preferably. I know, that would suck, right?
Mm-hmm.
Bloody chicken. Mom, what's this red sauce? Oh, don't you worry about that. Mom, where's your finger? Oh, it may be in that bag. There we go. So now I'm going to put this into a bag. Where'd I put my bag? Are you recording? Are you watching?
Yes.
Okay, I literally just labeled a bag secret sauce. No, it doesn't have chicken in it yet.
What's the secret sauce?
Secret sauce. I don't know, but we're gonna try it.
It's red.
I know.
Mm.
Okay, well, just a minute. So, I not only lost my bag. Oh no, there it is. Okay, there's the secret sauce chicken. And so this one's going to be secret sauce. But I'm going to put strips on there. Now, sometimes fate has it that I need to do this backwards. And the reason for this is I had General Tso's, a little bit of General Tso's seasoning left. And I had a little bit of teriyaki seasoning. And I had some little containers of barbecue. So I mixed them all in here together. And I put it in the fridge until today. So that's why this is already got the sauce in it, is because the sauce got put together before the chicken. I just like inventing things. If something sounds like it's going to taste good together, I'm going to put it in a bag and make it into a marinade. Sometimes I'll stick it in the freezer until I'm ready for it. If it's the next day or a few days later, I'll put it in the fridge. All of that gets melded together in there. And it's going to be so yummy after that chicken has been marinating there in the freezer. Then you take it out the night before, and it's going to marinate even more. So what I forgot to put on here was the General Tso's. So this is General Barbecue Teriyaki Chicken. Alrighty, now we're going to put our slices. I will do strips for these because this will probably go over rice, like my fried rice with some veggies, and be made with the same time as like the sweet and sour chicken. Because some people can't, in my house, don't like the General Tso's because it's so spicy. So that'll probably just be for me and Ellie, and the other girls can have sweet and sour chicken over rice. So nice. So, not only did I lose my bag earlier, but I also lost my helper. So, it's kind of hard to show you what I'm doing with only one hand. But what I've done is I've opened this chicken, the chicken thighs, and I'm going to cut them just like I did this in nice, somewhat big, meaty pieces. And that's going to be for the General Barbecue Teriyaki Chicken. Little bit of sweet, little bit of spicy, and And now I'm going to cut it into slices. My video cut off in the middle. I put it down. It was sitting there. It was fine. It was paused. And all of a sudden, it went to the home screen. Nothing touched it. Nothing came near it. I have no idea. Anyway, so this is part 2 of the chicken cubes and chicken strip marinating. This, what I did while I was befuddled by the strangeness with my camera, I took 4 and big ones and 1 little one, and 4 little chicken breasts or thighs, and this entire tray, like I said, makes 3 meals. So that's our Rotel. This one right here is going to be the Green Goddess chicken strips. And this one here is going to be the onion soup base. So I went ahead and I got all the bags labeled. I cut the 4 and 5 chicken thighs into chunks, or not chunks, but strips. And I put 1 in the bag and realized I should probably pick up my phone and start recording. Now, very important, always leave your bags open. Label them first, what they are, and a date, and leave them open so you don't have to touch them again with hands that have raw meat on them. So just leave it open just like that, and then put your chicken in, which is what we're going to do with these 2 piles right here. My fingers are up off the phone. Okay, so now we're ready to assemble our bags. Now, I did do 2 of the secret sauce, and I already washed my hands. Just a minute. Alright. I just had a little taste of the secret sauce. It's real good. It has a little bit of a spicy aftertaste, but it's not bad. But you always want to shake your marinades if they're in a jar. Make sure they're well mixed. Now, when I'm using a marinade that's already jarred that I did not make myself, I usually only use a 1/2 cup in each bag. See how the bag's open like that? That makes it so much easier to just pour your sauce right on in. Now that's a really thick sauce, so I put the lid back on and shook it after I did the secret sauce strips. Put it over the side. Let it all get in there. Now, the next one we're going to do is our Rotel chicken strips. If you are using a can of something and it doesn't have a pop top, just open it, but leave just enough on there so that your lid does not fall in with your meat. And all that was is a 10-ounce fire roasted diced tomatoes and green chilies Rotel. That's it. We do collect aluminum in this house, so I'll wash that off. Put the lid down and put it in my daughter's aluminum pile. Next is our onion soup chicken strips. Now what I usually do with these is I'll go ahead and put 1 packet of the onion soup mix in it, and then the day of, I'll add cream of mushroom soup and do that over noodles. And the girls really seem to like that. And another note, if you're using a dry powder like this, you're going to want a little bit of water or a little bit of fluid in there. I just so happen to have some chicken broth that I made in the fridge, so I added that little bit. I think it was like a half a cup. It was just just a little bit left over. So I went ahead and added that in there with the chicken soup. With the onion soup and the chicken strips. And I'll show you what I'm going to do in a minute. I just like assembling everything and letting it sit for a little bit before I shake it up and get the air out. So all this is a packet of sweet and sour sauce from when we had our orange chicken, General Tso's, and sweet and sour. And the girls didn't want to use the sweet and sour. They just wanted the orange chicken sauce. So I kept the sweet and sour sauce in the fridge. And now we're going to use it up. Alright, now we are at the taco seasoned chicken. Very simple. Now, I do make my own taco seasoning. I just don't feel like using it, and I found this packet in there, so that's what we're going to use. I'm going to open this. Now, let me tell you, there is a teaspoon of cooking oil in here. I think it was olive oil. Not extra virgin, that's very strong. Just regular olive oil in here. And it's only like, I take it back, it was a half a tablespoon to coat all the chicken so that the taco seasoning sticks to it. And we're going to add a little bit more. So I dumped that taco seasoning in there, and I'm going to add a little bit of red pepper flakes. So I added just a little bit of crushed red pepper. Can't really even see it. Next, we're going to add some onion powder and some garlic powder. So there it is. A teaspoon of garlic powder, a teaspoon of onion powder, and a smidgen, or however much you want, of crushed red pepper in the bag with the taco seasoning. And don't forget, a half a tablespoon of cooking oil. That'll help it all stick to that chicken. And last but definitely not least is the Primal Kitchen Green Goddess dressing and marinade with avocado oil. And this stuff is awesome. My daughter will pretty much put that on her salads, but it's really good. Alright, so now we've got all our bags with all our sauces and mixes. Now what do we do? Well, now we're going to take them. We're going to close them. Make sure they're well zippered. Go through it a few times. Make sure you don't hear any more clicks. Get that zipper good and shut. Because what you're about to do could be very bad if that's not shut all the way. Well, what are you going to do? We're going to shake it all together. Make sure that seasoning's all well in there and that chicken's all happy and coated and dressed up and ready for prime time. There we go. Now, very important. You see this air in this bag? That will cause freezer burn. You don't want that. So after you squish it all together, you're going to want to open just a little bit of the bag. I'm going to have to put my phone down. So I had to get some help. Open it just a little. Get all that air out, but not your sauce. The reason for that is that air will cause freezer burn. You don't want that. If you can get it to lay flat and get that air out of there without losing your sauce, you do that. And then you shut it all the way up. Make sure the zipper is completely zipped. Now, with the taco seasoning, because it is dry, take it. Get as much of that seasoning all over that chicken as you can. That's another reason why we put the cooking oil in there, is to help with the processing. All right, we don't want to overplay with the meat here, child. And then we're going to open a little part of the bag, lay it flat, squish the meat all the way up here. Are you?
Mm-hmm.
And even this will help get that oil and the seasoning all up there. You don't want your seasoning impeding you shutting this bag. But you do want all the air out. And then take your fingers, make sure it's it. There you go. Next is our green goddess. Get most of the air out. Squish it around. Make sure it's all good and incorporated in there. Back it up away from the edge. Open it up. Get all the air out. Sorry, my camera person's running off here. And it's that simple. And then you just lay them flat, and we're going to put them in the freezer. Flat, like this. We want them to be flat so that when they freeze, they're laying flat like this, and it makes it easier for us to store in our freezer. So like I said, each of these bags has 4 to 5 chicken thighs, either cut into strips or cut into cubes. So that's one meal for my family. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 meals. And see how little space that takes? Once those freeze up, in the morning I'll take them and put them in my big freezer where my ready-made meals are, and we'll have 10 more meals. Y'all have a great day. I hope this helps somebody. And consider that it really doesn't take that much space. I mean, because I have a whole bunch more stuff back here. I have ice cube trays here. I've got all this stuff down here, which needs to be gone through, but we won't go there tonight. It's so simple to even just do it like this. That way you have the meats all ready. You can stick them in a crock pot, stick them in a frying pan. Make sure you thaw them the night before, or you put them in some cool water to defrost with the top of the bag up out of the water. You know, just in case. So y'all have a great night. Bye.